This is the worst thing I've ever done. Gosh, I can't believe I'm saying this.
I've got a bit of a medical journey to go through.
Some people are charging 72k for a month for you to rent.
Have you been to a shop and got on all fours and be like, I'll take the full works?
I feel as though I should freeze my fertility before the end of the year. God, it's sounding deep. These guys are going to be like, what the fuck is he about to say?
Hello, Lou Dog.
Hello, the Rye Dog.
Welcome back to This Is Your Life with Ryan. You look very brown over there.
Thank you. I know I had a little... our lovely spray tan lady Sophie's been away for a few weeks, so I took matters into my own hands. I've been trialling a number of different fake tan brands. It's probably highly boring for you.
Not really, actually.
And,
Do tell.
yeah. And there's only one actually that I thought was really working for me at the moment. It's from Loving Tan. It's in a white bottle. And on it says, for experienced tan users only.
You're in that
which
bracket.
is a little bit alienating. Is that the word?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, they really know their market. I think because it's quite tan, doesn't it? I've noticed that you've got a fake tattoo on your foot.
Well, I drew that this morning. I also drew one on my leg.
Wait, what is that? A bull with antlers?
I don't know. I did it with my left hand, so it's
What is it?
completely... There's nothing.
What do you mean it's nothing? It has to be something.
Let's go with a tomato with antlers.
And what's on your leg?
I've written the words, it's a feeling, but I've turned it into a smiley face.
Good. Do you think that's a tatty that you're
Actually, it's more one of these. Tongue out.
like a... Sam's got loads of new tattoos.
Oh, yeah.
He keeps showing them off. Any excuse just come round here. He's like, come on, girls, then have a look at my arm. And he's only got them on one arm. Which...
He's got a bowl of noodles and a carton of milk. And I'm like, the rest of them, I kind of see where you were going with it. But the bowl of noodles and a carton of milk,
It's like emojis, isn't it? I don't know what I think of that, really. I couldn't imagine myself having one.
Well, we had a failed attempt, didn't we, on your birthday? We have to go back to a different spot.
Yeah, I think I'm good, actually, to be honest.
Okay.
I think, last episode we spoke about leaning into our authentic selves. And
Not for you?
I think actually it's not for me. And I feel okay with saying that now. I'm not really a tattoo-y person. I don't need to try and be cooler than I am. I don't need to tarnish my body. What's the saying? Why would you put a bumper sticker on a Ferrari?
That is the same.
I guess my bumper sticker anyway is my stoma bag Winnie. So I could put stickers on her.
Yeah, could do, yeah.
She's disposable. I only wear her for a day. It'd be heavy work. This episode of He Said, She Said is brought to you by Diet Coke. I love this campaign that Diet Coke are currently running. It's all about making little moments in your day that are just for you.
Love that. It's so important, isn't it?
I know we talk about it quite a lot, don't we? I think as parents, it's quite hard to carve out time just for yourself without feeling guilty, but it's so important to do it anyway. For me, it really looks like just finding like a little bit of space on the sofa with a book and a nice ice cold Diet Coke.
And for me, it might be that I go out for a solo walk, put my headphones in, and just have a nice Diet Coke in hand with no emails.
Exactly. That is your taste. And now Diet Coke are encouraging everyone to take those breaks and to own them.
You can also design your own Diet Coke in a way that's unique to you. You just scan the QR code on the can, head to the Coke app, and make it your own.
You can also win prizes. There's cash, there's Jamie Dornan merch, and lots more. Terms and conditions apply.
This is our taste. What's yours? So we've got about 4 months left of this year, just to give you a little reminder.
Oh, God. That's actually quite scary.
We're basically into Q4, aren't we? Are we?
I guess. Is that September, October, November, December? But wait, Q4 is, there's 4 quarters of 3 months. So we're actually not. I guess Q4 is October.
Right, let me rephrase. We are fast approaching Q4.
You sound like you own a big business there, Ryan.
Well, I don't.
Thanks for bringing the heat with that. Have you achieved everything you want to so far this year?
Hang on. This is my question to you is, what would you like to achieve in the last 4 months? I just can't believe that we're about to step into autumn. And I'm like, holy smokes. Because in my mind, As soon as summer closes out, I'm like, oh, Christmas is going to be here real fast.
It's funny that you mentioned about autumn because I think it might be a bit of an older person thing to enjoy the autumn and the winter.
No, I absolutely
Basically,
love
like
autumn
once
winter.
your hormones get a bit mangled, you can't really temperature regulate anymore. And I slightly feel like that's where I'm at. It's been unbearable, the heat waves that we've had in August, and I'm ready for a change in season. And also, I think from the self-conscious point of view, it's just nice to wear, to be able to cover up these old arms and not have to bother with things like waxing and spray tans. Have you ever had a wax before?
No.
Ever? Never? Anywhere?
No, but I don't really warrant such a treatment. I'm not particularly hairy.
Well, actually, I did put the nose waxing plugs up your nose once, remember? That was so satisfying to see those little follicles.
That was actually wild. You can do that again if you want.
Oh, lucky me. Like popping the spot on your back, that one bit.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe we should wax you. A back sack and a crack. How's that sound?
Ooh. That must be painful, surely.
Should we get you down to Svetlana down the road?
She's long. She packed out way, way back.
Did she? Oh, it's been a while since I've been there.
I've never had I've never had that.
Occasionally you will shave your something.
No, but not a wax. I don't even know. Is that quite literally, we'll pour hot wax on you, slap a bit of paper in?
You can do the hot wax. Yeah, I think they do like the hot. There's kind of two different waxes. I sometimes just do waxing strips at home. I've done them in front of Leo.
What have you used on that? Because that's quite effective.
Okay, you quite like that, do you?
Well, I certainly don't like hairy armpits, yeah. And then they're
like kind of bald now. There's a few little thin hairs.
What did you use?
So I've used some waxing strips.
Veet.
They're actually from Veet, and they are better than shaving because I get that shadow, much like your facial hair.
So
if I wax them,
have you been to a shop and got on all fours and be like, I'll take the full works? Is that what women do?
I actually haven't been on all fours.
Is that what women do? Well, hang on. This is why, because men will need to know the answer to this.
Okay.
Do you say, I'd like you to wax my butt, my crack, and my...
No, you would call before and make an appointment or book online and choose the option. I find it personally easier if I go somewhere where English isn't the first language and people haven't watched me on TV when they're about to see my vagina. That's why they exist. Well, yeah, I don't know. And I think different nationalities do have different techniques.
Right. Again, I still need more details.
The place down the road is actually iconic. So people travel for half an hour to go there because they're that good.
For what?
They're very quick. For a bikini wax.
Okay, so do you have a bikini on, or do you get... Options. Wait, just stop talking. I need to know the answer.
Okay.
Because I'm amazed that you guys have the balls to do this. Like, men would not go into a shop, drop trowel and be like, let's go to town and get rid of all this fur.
Where would you put your willy and your balls?
Well, where do you put your...
Well, you don't really have to like hold it, do you? So it just... I guess if you did your willy, you'd have to like cup it in your hand.
Sorry, just give you a little biology lesson. There's not much hair on the actual willy.
No, that's why you need to keep it out of the way of the fluffy bits above. Oh. Which, by the way, can you stop removing in the sink?
Sorry, what? I was thinking about fluffy willies.
Can you stop removing your fluffy willy in the sink?
I'm not doing that in the sink. I do that in the shower, mate.
Oh, that's why we've got plumbing problems. So, yeah, options are bikini waxes, just leave your pants on and like a little bit of a moving in from the inside.
Right.
Then you've got the...
What do they call that? Brazilian?
No, that's just called a bikini wax. So that's the sort of tame version. And then you can go with...
Mate, just tell me about the explicit version.
Okay, so then it's basically like, yeah, Brazilian, maybe they leave like a landing strip and it's just all off.
And then
sometimes they'll just do it actually without even asking and you're like...
And are you standing up at this point?
No, lying down. Standing up for a bikini wax. So they're literally, that would be even more obvious that their face is like, they'd have to be squatting down by your vagine.
Do they wear, I bet these people wear masks, not even because of like any like COVID or whatever. They're just like, and underneath there, they're dying with embarrassment, aren't they?
I don't think masks, but gloves, yes. No, not gloves. It's been a long time.
Do they tell you to flip over onto all fours? And
I've not done the arsehole wax on all fours.
I kind of want to see this happen.
Actually, I just lie on my back.
This is wild. Kudos to you guys.
I know. Or you could get someone to come around the house through one of the
How about this for an idea? How about you just do it yourself?
Okay. How about you do it yourself? It is so painful.
Is it-
I've got a good idea. In fact, ahead of next week's episode, I'm going to wax your bum crack, and then we can get a report on a scale out of 1 to 10 how
Why don't you do
painful it
laser
is.
removal surgery?
But that's really good. That's what people that are very patient and have lots of money or lots of time do.
Does it cost a lot of money?
It is very expensive, yeah. I think you get like packages. I actually did that once. Do you know what's really bad? Is when I was in Edinburgh. God, I can't believe I'm saying this. This is the worst thing I've ever done. So basically, I had like one hair on my face when I was in Edinburgh, and I decided to get a laser removal package, okay? And in order for laser removal to work, you have to shave the area. So wherever it is, like your hand, your leg,
or your face,
vagina, or your face, or your head. No, you wouldn't.
You're telling me that you shaved your
so
face.
they then shaved my face, and now I actually have lots of hairs on my face because I never kept up with it, because I wasn't going to go every couple of months or every month, I can't remember, to go and get this laser machine on my face. I was way too busy.
I know where it is on your face. You've got one there.
Yeah,
haven't
I
you?
know. It's hideous.
Ah, you've never told me that until now. Thank God for this podcast.
Yeah.
Why don't you just let me get at it?
Yeah, well, let's just take them all out.
I'll tweezer it out.
As also, I think as you get older, just again, like post-trauma, hair falls out on your face, it grows in unwanted places on your body.
You haven't got hair on your face. You've got one paw that's got like a little...
Well, if you could help me out with it, that would be nice. I'm really glad that we've crossed this bridge now, because I've kind of been holding on to it for a while. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend doing that. And I was slightly scarred, so I haven't done it on the rest of my body. But I did try and buy one of those laser removal machines to do it at home.
Right.
And back in the day when I was doing it, the technology was different. So it was a really small laser like this big. So doing that across your whole leg, and it feels like you're electrocuting yourself, burning the hair, is quite sore. And you know, I don't love to sit still. So even with my favourite TV show on in the background, it's not that joyful. I'm excited to wax your balls though. How do men get their balls waxed? Do you have to stretch out the skin?
Oh God, we're going there. Again, I've never had a wax, so I couldn't tell you about waxing.
Surely you could just pluck them. There's not many on a bollock, is there?
Not really, no.
There's such an absurd episode so far.
I don't think you can wax ball sacks.
No, you can. Back
Jesus.
sack and crack. Wait, back sack.
What? Charlie's
Sack.
like, confirmed you can.
Yes, the sack is the ball. Yeah, back, sack, crack.
I'm living in a naive existence over here. Fuck it, let's go to Svetlana's. Let's have an outing.
Oh my God, should we do it?
I'll bring some ammunition for this podcast.
Perfect. I'm going to message Louisa and say, can you book Ryan and... Oh my God, should we...
No, I actually couldn't do it.
Can I actually message her and see what her reaction is when I say, would you mind booking Ryan in for a back sack and a crack at Svetlana's down the road?
Oh my God. Do it for the lols.
Do it for the lols. Right, so I'm glad we've covered that ground.
You haven't answered my first question,
what
which
was
was about 38 minutes ago.
Oh, okay. What do I want to achieve for the rest of the
This
year?
is a serious question.
Okay.
4 months of the year. What would you like to achieve between now and then? As in Christmas, you know.
Well, I really wanted to bring out a really cool product for Christmas.
Don't hesitate, by the way.
Well, I haven't hesitated. Why are you saying that?
Well, because I want you to give it some oomph.
All right. Okay. Well, top line, I really wanted to bring out a cool Christmas product in collaboration with a brand, but I don't think I've been organised to do it this year. I'm doing a little edit. Shouldn't make all my goals about work, though. I feel as though I should freeze my fertility before the end of the year.
What does that mean? Freeze your fertility?
What do you think it means, Ryan?
Freeze your vagina? I don't know.
Not freeze my vagina.
What's the actual terminology?
Okay, so I'd like to freeze some embryos for fertility preservation.
Okay.
So, and the reason for doing that, I guess, in Q4, as you say, is because, well, actually, it's something that I feel I need to time well. I don't know how, because I don't know how it's going to make me feel. And I wanted to get through the summer. I wanted to make sure that we had some lovely times with Leo. I wanted to go on the few trips, travel overseas whilst being flare-free. Kind of need to get that under my belt. I also wanted to do a photo shoot. And I know that things get really mental around Christmas time, work-wise. So I thought I could carve out maybe 3 weeks around September, October to try and get something in the freezer. And I have no idea how it's going to turn out. So I feel apprehensive about it. To be honest, I feel fucking petrified about it. But it's something that I have this very strong urge to do because I feel like there's no reason to keep kicking the can down the road. I know that we've not got particularly far with our flat rental so far. Sorry, house rental out of London, which is just, I don't know, a sort of c'est la vie situ. There's a lot of other stuff going on. And but I would really like to find at least somewhere that we can commit to for the Christmas period.
That's a great one.
Somewhere really beautiful. I had a really quick look and I was alarmed by the prices of a short-term rental versus a long-term. I mean, some of these Airbnbs, I think people are taking the piss. Like, they have to be taking the piss. So a lovely, but not a substantial house, maybe 4 bedrooms, somewhere pretty. Some people are charging 72k for a month for you to rent a fucking house out in the sticks.
What the hell? I
know. I thought we were going to be saving money getting out of the city, but I don't know if it's because the parameters were Christmas and people just know that they can. But I think some people just chance it. They're probably living there. They probably don't have an intention really of letting their house out, but they just threw it on. It's almost teasing, and they tend to be some of the kind of nicer looking ones. So we might need to dig a little into that. In fact, if anybody that's listening knows anybody that lives in the home counties or within an hour and a half from London, and in fact, actually, if it's going to be short term and we're going to migrate for a few weeks, then it can be further. It could go coastal. Then, yeah, if you've got somewhere that you would like to let to us, then please do get in touch. We'd love to hear from you. It's pretty hard to find somewhere. I actually sent you something yesterday, didn't I? There's this beautiful little cottage that you can rent in Hayling Island, which I feel like is an undiscovered gem that I'm about to ruin from mentioning it now. It's only about an hour from London.
What?
You drive over this bridge, you're on Hayling Island. It's very stripped back. You'd probably really like it. It's rough and ready. It's not, actually you do like a shiny object, gold shiny object.
I don't.
It's not got that kind of like gorgeous stone facade. There's a lot of pebble dash down there, I suppose because it needs to survive all the wear and tear of the coast and the winds and the sea and the salt air. But it's very low-key and seasidey, and it's convenient, and there's a lot of sailing down there, beachy stuff, walks, very relaxed pubs. I think we should check it out. What's on your list?
Well, I do share your desire to have somewhere for Christmas. I love the idea of making that like the Christmas present to everyone, sort of renting somewhere, not worrying about the sort of gifts so much, but just having a really epic spot where we can all have space but be in the same place.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Well, let's work towards that then. That's a nice goal to have.
I've got quite a few work-related ones. Obviously, I've now got a new team that I'm in a flow with.
Ryan's got a new team, guys. This is actually a big deal. You feel really good about this transition.
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Yeah. You had a call actually last week with a potential VA, virtual assistant.
Yeah.
How do you think you're going to find managing someone?
Well, I don't view it that way.
Yeah.
It's a collaborative relationship. It's not me managing. I've got no interest in managing anyone. I'd like to work with someone. I want to get in good shape because early next spring I want to do an Ironman, and that's been kind of like confirmed, locked in, pretty much.
Where is that? South Africa.
Hawaii.
Cool. Wait, so we're all going to Hawaii next spring?
Yeah.
Just you?
Yeah, we're all going. I've always wanted to go to Hawaii, but
never
thought that I'd be going there to do an Ironman.
But how do you know that there's one there?
Because I'm in talks with Ironman, the organisation, and the plan is to do a half Ironman next May and then do a full one later in the summer.
Cool. So that would be your equivalent of the Marathon des Sables, which you did this year, next year. And what is an Ironman? That's a run, a cycle, and a swim.
Yeah, in a slightly different order, but it doesn't really matter. Yeah, you swim, cycle, run. And you're going to ask me the distance, but I actually can't remember. I can tell you that a half Ironman, the total distance in miles is 70.3. That's why it's called an Ironman 70.3.
Nice. This podcast is actually really handy because I feel like I get to learn things about you and put things in the diary.
I've got a bit of a medical journey to go through.
God, it's sounding deep. These guys are going to be like, what the fuck is he about to say?
So you mentioned that you're going to freeze some embryos with the view of starting this fertility journey. Obviously, I've got a role to play in that. And we had some appointments a few weeks ago, and I wasn't really expecting any of that conversation and time from the medical professionals to be swung at me, but it was. And I had to do some tests. I did a semen analysis, which was interesting. And the results completely were not what I was expecting, because I thought I was a pretty healthy male, but my my results weren't healthy. They were kind of at the bottom end of the bracket where you want to be as a 34-year-old man. That was a bit of a shock, something pretty unexpected. And when I got the results delivered by that doctor, I didn't get too upset by it, because in truth, and this is a much wider conversation for a full episode maybe, I'm not sure if at that time my heart and mind were on the same page with this IVF journey, and there was probably some sort of subliminal subconscious resistance happening in my body because my heart and mind weren't synchronized.
I feel like I slightly dragged you into those first stages to have those appointments.
That's not what I said. I don't think you dragged
Okay.
me. I just don't think I was ready to go through that. I think since then, and I've done a lot of thinking about the idea of expanding the family and having more kids and what's involved with that, and the route that we have as maybe our only option or one of our few options. And I think along that journey, you kind of accept a few things. And yeah, I guess now I'm facing round 2 of analysis. So we'll see. I guess we'll see.
What's the process like then for a guy? Because people often put so much attention on the woman when it comes to egg freezing. I don't think I've ever seen a guy on social media talk about his sperm journey, whereas there are lots of women that are talking about the injections that their partner's helping them with, the process of going through that hormonal change physically and mentally, all of the different appointments, the scans, watching the follicles develop. There's a lot of education actually out there around it, which I think is actually very, very helpful, because if you haven't embarked on that journey before, then it can feel like a total minefield. But there are resources out there for women. But as a guy, I've never seen a guy that's spoken about sort of spunking into a cup and then the aftermath of that.
Which bit are you asking me about?
Well, I don't know, all of it. Does it feel like quite a pressured...
It's a very pressured...
environment? And I suppose, as you mentioned before, so I want to know whether it's pressured. I also want to know, you mentioned the fact that you weren't expecting the results to be low. We've actually never spoken about this result. It wasn't very long ago that we did this. And I think we kind of repeating what you said, but it was really early stages of even wrapping our heads around the idea of this and kind of meeting consultants for the first time. And I don't feel like the news was delivered particularly well, but it just felt like this whirlwind. So, okay, I guess to take it to back to the beginning, what were your initial thoughts when the suggestion was made to go and spunk in a cup? We did speak about this actually. I remember a few months ago when we met with that lady and we were joking about it. And she was saying, "Oh, can you go and just do your business now?" And you were like, No. I need to be prepared for that. How did you feel then this time?
The first example you gave is probably the best one to use as the example to expand on, because I think she was wrong to do that. I think she was wrong to just quickly within the conversation swing the spotlight on me and then ask me publicly in front of, I don't know, it's just you, but she's obviously at this point she's a stranger, and for her to, this is just my view, this is maybe oversensitive to it, but she expected me to be completely at peace with the idea of just going into the next door room and doing my thing and treating it as if it was just like a transaction or like when in reality, actually, like there's so much more attached to this. And I don't think men have the chance to even really think about it. I think the women often drive, and this is not meant to be a generalized thing, but it's certainly in my case, I think you were driving this and I kind of got scooped up for the journey. Wasn't at all expecting to have any analysis at this point. I thought we were just exploring like how healthy your areas were. So I didn't have the best experience, and I think because I said no to her like several times in that meeting, I was like, no, this doesn't really align with me. This doesn't feel great. I shouldn't be made to just. On the one hand, yes, you're just asking me to do like a, a pretty like. I don't even know how to describe it, but
I don't think it is that normal. It's not a normal thing just to get done in a day if you're not expecting it or preparing for it.
I think the easy option here is to say what you just said, like, oh, just go and spunk in a cup. But it's like, it's not quite as straightforward as that for a bloke, especially for a bloke like me. Like,
I think in the same way that I was prudish about having a wax, you want to maybe negotiate it over email, or at least feel like you can get the date in the diary that you want to go and do that thing that is anything but normal.
I don't like to overanalyze things, but I feel like I'm doing exactly that in this moment.
Okay. Well, how did you feel then when you got the results?
Well, I told you that I think it was because there was like internal resistance. Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I've got to do it again. So, and then potentially start some medication. I've got friends who are in the same position.
Yeah.
Don't know. It's one of those things that you never quite think that you'd be affected by it, but you can be as healthy on the outside as you are, but inside there's all sorts of imbalances and whatever else.
Yeah.
But yeah,
people never really expect a man to have a problem.
I don't mind talking about it, because I know that there are lots of blokes who do have problems with fertility, and they go on different medications and whatever else. No one talks about it. I'm very open to talk about it. So if I end up going on medication, I'll tell you more about it.
I think you're very brave for even opening up about that, to be honest. I am looped in on the emails, so I do know how many days you need to be abstinent for before 3 to 7. and I guess, it's an interesting journey that we'll be going on. I've always thought, it's different for men and women because the extraction process is very different, isn't it? It's a lot easier for you to get your seed out than it is mine, and just because you can then do that on numerous occasions and freeze numerous batches of sperm, it doesn't make the process any less emotionally draining, because every time you're getting inspected, aren't you? You're getting analyzed. Your health and your like manhood is being analyzed. Your kind of condition as a human and your ability to procreate, and that is really, really, really tough. So, but I have to say, I wasn't expecting it at all. I thought with everything that we've been through, I'd always thought that I would be the major challenge in this scenario, but I guess we'll just have to see what happens and trust in that old saying of like what's meant for us won't pass us. And
I don't see it as a major challenge right now.
No, I feel like it's an exciting
I think it's just an imbalance in my body that I already know is there. I've been on medication anyway with this TRT stuff for 2 years or more. That's a balancing act, which I know I've never quite mastered. So the whole thing needs addressing.
Well, even talking about that's very, very open, because not a lot of people speak about that.
No.
So is TRT the equivalent of if I had low estrogen and I was reaching the menopause, I might be treated with HRT, which I guess just stands for hormone replacement therapy, which is sort of a similar thing. But what's TRT is testosterone replacement therapy. And what led you to want to go on that, or to
blood tests? I had blood tests done when Leo was not, I think he was 1 perhaps. After that first year when I was incredibly low, and just when you're aware of your physiological systems as a man are not working properly. You feel lethargic, you don't recover well from workouts, low libido, you don't get like your morning boners that most dudes do if they're healthy. It's like, honestly, you laugh, but it's like one of those like barometers of health where you're like, oh, I think my body's working well. It's like a dog with a wet nose.
Yeah. I always check Koji and Toto's noses because it's a sign of health. So for a guy, you want to have an RB, a random boner, in the morning.
Yep.
That makes you feel like you're manning.
Yeah. But then obviously it goes deeper than that. It's like you feel a bit depressed and whatever else, and sleep is erratic and mood and whatever else. So I knew something was wrong. I had some blood work done, which looked at hormone profile, showed that my testosterone had bottomed out. So it was like very, very, very low. And I did 2 or 3 further blood tests to kind of like confirm this. Ended up going on a replacement therapy almost. So combination of testosterone with HCG, and it's something you inject into your tummy. Very small, like medical prescription amounts. Not even anything I can really like show you with finger measurements. It's not a lot, but it's supposed to kind of re-engage and restart that whole testosterone production. I think people will think that testosterone would like maybe turn you into a god and like muscular and like shimmer with gold, but it doesn't do that. It just kind of turns things on a little bit.
But I suppose if you are what's it, TRT, replacing testosterone, if you're adding that into your body, then your body naturally stops having to produce it itself.
Well, that's why you take the secondary.
The feedback loop then is altered. And so that can then affect your fertility.
Well, that's why you take the HCG.
HCG that's what you test for when you get pregnant. So in pregnancy tests, or if you have the blood test to confirm the pregnancy, they check your HCG levels. So I think that goes up when you're pregnant, which is interesting. I think trauma affects all of your hormones so immensely. Every single doctor I've spoken to has said, yeah, it's no surprise that your hormones feel like they're completely scrambled, because even if it's not because you've actually got damage in that area or your ovaries or wherever it might be, you going through something traumatic affects your brain, it affects your pituitary and its ability to be able to regulate your hormones throughout the body. If you're constantly in that fear response, then things aren't...
Everything is driven by your hormones, and there has to be a bit of a fine balance between that production and regulation of different hormones in your body. So if it's out of kilter, which mine was and probably still is, and this is why I don't see this as a major challenge, because I think it can be corrected by having an andrologist, someone to look at my blood work, figure out like, here's what we need to do for a set amount of weeks, we'll retest, we'll go again.
And can you find a good... So is it called an andrologist? Because I always thought hormones was endocrinologist. But andrologist maybe specializes in androgen, male hormones. Male. So maybe you could find like a guy that you really, I was gonna say love and trust, so feminine of me, but someone that you really respect that can help you then on that journey to get you rebalanced again, so you feel like old Ryan, like old healthy masculine Ryan. I know that I'm on a bit of a quest to do the same the other way around, but I'm not able, because my estrogen levels are really low. But if I'm going to do any fertility treatment, that's going to throw everything out of balance anyway. So I wouldn't be able to do any replacement therapies prior to that. But I do think the trauma hormone balance is interesting. I know one of our good friends was in a fairly traumatic accident. Actually, I know a couple of people that have been in traumatic accidents, vehicle accidents, at an age that was pivotal for growth and development. Actually, I know 3 people, men, and it basically halted their testosterone production, and it affected their growth, and there were obvious signs, and so they had to supplement with it medically. In big ways, in big doses. And one person, I hope they won't mind me mentioning, they had to actually freeze their fertility at a really young age, because if they were going to be replacing it long term, it might shut down the ability to do that naturally.
I think a lot of men do these days look at their testosterone levels with more of a magnifying glass.
Really?
I think testosterone replacement for men will become more of a normal, accepted thing. And the trouble is, not many men want to reveal it because the instant assumption is that you're trying to sort of almost walk the line of performance enhancement because they associate testosterone with anabolic steroids. But this is not that. This is not that at all. This is a small measurement that is designed to basically kickstart your testicles to produce a natural production of testosterone.
Yeah.
Well, sorry, that in conjunction with the HCG. So yeah, I mean, listen, I know there's a lot of men who take this, even people I know and know of, and 6 degrees of what's it called?
Separation.
Yeah, I can get to anyone with that theory. As in, like, there's so many people in my world. Yeah. If not the first one, the second one, or the sixth one away. Like. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, this could end up falling into this kind of territory of me, like, I don't know, breaking down walls and talking about it for men.
Yeah. And we're really very much at the beginning of that. Do you know, one thing that popped into my head when I was talking to some people about this, and including someone that froze their, I just say fertility because it's kind of gender neutral, but I know that it sounds really silly. So either their eggs or their sperm, young. It made me think, I wonder whether in like 20 years' time, everybody will just freeze their eggs or sperm when they're 18. Then because it's becoming so much more readily available, so much safer, more financially accessible, the technology is so much better. There's now an AI clinic that we've had conversations with where they can literally map out all of the sperm, and they have all of these systems where they kind of green light some of them and red some of them, and then they can use ICSI and literally inject the sperm, the ones that they think, because of hundreds of thousands of data points worth of AI, they can choose that best performing sperm and put it into an egg. Whether to, especially given that we now have a declining, well, we've got a bit of a population crisis because a lot of people aren't having children until much later because they're focusing on their career and wanting to get to a certain stage in life before procreating. Whether it will become the norm to freeze stuff younger.
Probably will be.
And then you can buy loads of time, and then even end up perhaps like someone like my cousin who is awesome, and I'd love to actually get on the podcast. She has a company called the IVF Network, which is a really amazing resource for people that are going through whatever kind of fertility journey it is. She just had her second child at 49, which is incredible. And she's obviously been through a lot to get to that place, which is why she's created this entire brand to help other people. But yeah, maybe we'll see the trends really changing.
Basically, the Matrix is going to become true then.
Oh, is that the Matrix?
Kind of,
which you mentioned in the AUA last week.
Batteries of like humans in pods.
Is that what happens?
I think we've kind of stumbled into a topic that is really huge, not just for us, but it's just a huge topic, and we should probably revisit this when we've got more information about our own stats and results, and maybe more, we can confidently give more direction, because we've lifted the lid on something that's very close to us right now. So I think we should just park it.
Yeah.
Revisit it. See how this lands with people who listen to the episode.
Yeah.
See if it generates any discussions with men or women. Hopefully it does.
I think I just don't feel as though, like, given what we've just spoken about, I feel like I'm kind of almost learning things from you for the first time, and then going into a listener submission just feels a bit jarring. So I think I'd rather just round this episode off now and move on and revisit next Wednesday.
Yeah. Or Monday in between with the AUA.
Yeah.
Holla.
Holla. Thank you guys so much for listening, as always. And this is a very non-judgmental space between two people that are going through a lot of things that I'm sure will be familiar with people.
What I would like to add quickly is that I have a lot of guy friends who have been through pretty horrendous journeys with what we've just lifted the lid on. But those conversations are very private and very closed off. If there's any guy who listens to what we've just spoken about, or woman, of course, and you want to reach out, either direct to our own Instagram or the podcast Instagram or the email address for the podcast, which will be in the show notes. Don't hesitate to do that, because for anyone, men or woman, like, you will find a very, very safe and secure place to have a conversation with both myself and Louise. And, you know, hopefully by seeing this episode, and by the way, none of this has been prepared. This was like shooting straight from the hip. But we're very open to the conversation, and I guess it kind of threads into the whole purpose of this podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you.